If you've been shortlisted for a Band 6 NHS nursing job and you are not really sure of how to go about preparing for your interview, this is the right video for you. I'm currently working as a Band 6 registered nurse with the NHS, and for the past 3 years, I've been through a series of Band 6 nursing interviews. I know how nerve-wracking it can be to attend a Band 6 nursing job interview. Even if you are a Band 6 currently and moving on onto a new Band 6 nursing role, you can still expect to be anxious or nervous, and you can still expect different questions at every Band 6 nursing interview. So if you find yourself in this position, this is the right video for you. Stay tuned to the end as I've compiled a list of frequently asked Band 6 nursing interview questions, not just the questions plus their answers. I've come across most of these questions in my Band 6 interviews, and I've put together the answers which I strongly believe will help you get that Band 6 role. Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. You're welcome to another exciting and informative video. My name is Dinah. I'm a registered nurse, migrated from overseas, currently working as a Band 6 nurse with the NHS. I've done a couple of videos on my channel which I believe you'll find very useful. A couple of years ago, I did a video on how to answer healthcare assistant interview questions and answers. I've had a lot of positive feedback from that video, and a lot of people have sent me messages saying that they came across that video just at the time they were going for their healthcare assistant interview and they had the job offer. It got me so excited. Anytime I read those comments, I get so happy, and it has motivated me to come up with this Band 6 registered nurse interview question and answers, because I'm currently working as a Band 6. I've been through so many Band 6 interviews, and these are some of the frequently asked questions that you can expect to meet. I'll leave a link to that video in the description so that if you know of anyone who is preparing for a healthcare assistant interview, if you yourself are preparing for a healthcare assistant interview, hopefully that will be helpful for you. Let me also stress on the fact that these questions may not only be for when you're applying for a Band 6 role in the NHS. If you're applying for a senior role in the care home, it could be applicable as well, because these are general Band 6 questions that are frequently asked. So without wasting so much time, let's go on to the first question you are most likely to be asked in your Band 6 interview. The first question you will be asked is, tell me about yourself. And the reason why they ask this is, although you may have provided a lot of information in your supporting statement, they will still like to have a chat with you, just to have a brief overview of your work experience, and also it's just to get to know you a bit more. And it also helps ease tension a little bit, because they know how nerve-wracking it can be sitting in front of a lot of people that you don't even know. So if you are asked this question, you don't need to just mention your name and leave it there. You should add a bit of your previous experience, how many years you've worked as a nurse and all of that, your career goals, your leadership skills, just a brief overview about yourself. So let's just go straight onto that model answer I've drafted for this particular question. So the model answer I've provided for this question is, my name is Dinah. I've worked as a registered nurse for 3 years. I have extensive experience in looking after patients across all ages and diverse healthcare settings, and this has significantly enhanced my clinical skills, adaptability, and knowledge, enabling me to deliver high quality patient care in a variety of situations. You can also go on further to say that I'm passionate about providing high quality patient care and constantly improving my clinical skills. My genuine passion for making a difference in people's lives drives me to deliver exceptional care. My goal is to advance in my leadership capabilities and contribute to enhancing positive patient outcome. My goal is to advance my leadership capabilities and contribute to enhancing patient outcomes and positive patient experience while continuing my professional development in a dynamic healthcare environment. So with this particular answer, you've told them about yourself, the experience you've had before, and your career goals. You've also told them about the fact that you have passion for providing continuous quality healthcare to your patients or to your clients or to service users. So you can add on top of this whatever you've also found or whatever experience that you've also had in the past as a registered nurse added to this information, and hopefully this will be a model answer that will impress those who are interviewing you. The next question you may be asked is, what makes you the right fit for this Band 6 role? They will obviously want to know if you've got the qualities that they need to become a band 6, because being a band 6 involves a bit of supervisory and leadership roles. You take charge of the shift, you coordinate shift pattern. Sometimes you are even allocated student nurses to mentor them, do inductions. If there is any new qualified registered nurse, they can buddy you up with them. So it's not just about going there to do your work and coming back, but as a band 6, there's still a bit expected of you, so they would want to know if you've got what it takes. So this is a model answer in case they ask you what makes you the right fit for this role. With my 3 years of nursing experience across various healthcare settings, I've developed strong clinical skills, leadership abilities, and a deeper understanding of patient care. I've successfully managed complex cases, coordinated multiple shifts, and mentored junior staff, ensuring patient care is delivered safely and efficiently. You can also go on further to say that I'm committed to ongoing personal and professional development, which has equipped me with advanced knowledge, and I strongly believe my leadership, clinical expertise, and dedication to improving patient outcomes align perfectly with my expectations for a band 6 role. This will enable me to make a significant impact on both patient care and the development of the team. As a band 6, you don't only manage the patient that you're looking after, you manage the entire team, especially if you are allocated to be a nurse in charge to coordinate the shift for the day. So to let them know that you are the right fit for this job, I mentioned that you've got 3 years of nursing experience across various settings. That's a strong point. And you've also developed strong clinical skills and leadership capabilities, because as a band 6, there should be a combination of both clinical and leadership skills, and it makes you like a very, very good fit for a band 6 role. So if you mention all of these in your answers, it will give you upper hand, or it will give you more scoring points. So the next question I'm going to talk about is a question I've come across in all my band 6 interview. This question has never been left out. Anytime I'm going for a band 6 interview, I make sure I've got answer to this particular question, and I've revised over and over again. So let's go straight on to the next question. So the next question you may be asked is, what is clinical governance, and how will you apply it in your role as a band 6 nurse? So you're expected to at least explain what clinical governance is before you can even explain how you would apply it in your role, because if you don't know what the clinical governance is, you may not even know how you'll be expected to apply it in your role as a band 6. So if you've not heard of this clinical governance, I will entreat you to go and search about it, read about it, because they've got 7 principles in clinical governance, and I've drafted a model answer for this particular question. So in case you made this question anywhere, I've got you covered with this model answer. Clinical governance can be defined as a framework through which UK National Health Service organizations and their staff are accountable for continuously improving the quality of care. So this is just the definition, and clinical governance has 7 principles or 7 pillars. So you can go on further to mention the 7 pillars. That will give you more points, and it will also impress your interviewers. So the 7 pillars or principles of clinical governance include education and training, staff management, clinical effectiveness, clinical audit, patient and public involvement, risk management, and information management. So you can read further about the principles, and then you know how to apply them. So I've picked a few of them because obviously in that interview you've got limited time, so you can't talk about how you apply all of these 7 principles. So after you've defined the clinical governance, talked about the 7 pillars or the principles of clinical governance, then you can just use 2 of the pillars as an example as to how you would apply them. So I took 2 of them and I explained how I would apply them if I was asked this question. So you can use this model answer as well. You can also find out about how you would apply the other pillars or the other principles in your role. So let's look at the 2 examples. So I picked education and training because I felt like it would be easier for me to explain that or apply that. For education and training, I mentioned continuous learning. So I said I will engage in regular training and professional development to stay updated with the latest clinical guidelines, procedures, and evidence-based practice, because you have to educate yourself as a band 6, to be up to date on top of all your clinical skills, evidence-based practice, so that if you are assigned a student nurse or a newly qualified nurse, you will be able to mentor them, show them the right way, and also motivate your team to do the right thing. I also went on further to say that I can organize and lead training sessions to ensure all the team members stay up to date with the latest healthcare protocols and advancements. I also mentioned mentorship and support. I'll provide guidance and share knowledge with junior colleagues to foster collaborative learning environments within the team. Patient education, I also mentioned that I'll educate patients and their families on healthcare management, treatment, and preventive care to promote better outcomes. The principle of education and training covers you as the Band 6 nurse. It covers your team as well as the patient and even their families as well. So you talk about how you educate yourself, make sure you are on top of all your skills, you've done all your competencies, your trainings, so that you ensure that your other team members have also done the same. So taking the principle of education and training, this is how you can go about answering this question. So let's go on to the other principle I picked. So the other principle I picked is staff management. So let's see the model answer for how you can apply the staff management in your role as a Band 6. So I mentioned effective team communication. I will ensure open and clear communication within the team to coordinate care, share useful updates, and address concerns promptly, fostering a supportive working environment. And also delegation and supervision. I will strategically allocate resources and assign tasks appropriately based on each team member's skills and competencies, while providing supervision and guidance to maintain high quality standards of care. You can also mention leadership and role modeling by leading by example, demonstrating professionalism, compassion, and adherence to best practices, inspiring junior colleagues to follow high standards of care. So we've defined the clinical governance, we've talked about the principles, and we've picked two of them and how you apply them. So let's go on to the next question. This question is not only for Band 6 nursing role in NHS. Wherever you go, whatever company you apply to work in, you will find this question. What is your understanding of equality, diversity, and inclusion, and how would you promote it within your team as a senior staff nurse or as a Band 6? So you will not miss this question in any interview, not here in the UK. So if you are asked this question, you can go about first defining equality, defining diversity, and then you'll bring in inclusion. Because if you don't understand diversity and if you don't understand equality, there is no way inclusion can come in, because they go hand in hand. So I went about answering this question by explaining these terms individually, and then I talked about how I'll make sure it's promoted within my team. So let's go straight onto the computer and see the model answer I've drafted for this question. So I defined equality as ensuring that everyone is treated fairly and given the same opportunities to enable them give out their best, regardless of their background, characteristics, or circumstances. It involves removing potential barriers and addressing imbalances to provide equal access to resources, rights, and opportunities for all. And diversity is the recognition and appreciation of the differences that makes people unique. These differences can include a person's race, beliefs, ethnicity, gender, cultural background, and age. So I explain inclusion as enabling people across varying identities feel valued, welcomed, respected, represented, and heard. If you understand the equality and diversity, that's when you can include everybody as part of the team and make them feel valued. So I went on to say that understanding equality, diversity, and inclusion is crucial for creating a fair and respectful environment where every team member has equal access to opportunities and resources, regardless of their protected characteristics. This understanding promotes a culture of respect and belongingness, enhancing collaboration while reducing discrimination, bullying, and biases within an organization. So you've explained these three terms. So now let's go on to how you promote these three within your team. So I talked about encouraging participation, so creating a welcoming environment by actively accepting input from all staff and patients in discussions and decisions affecting their care. And also cultural awareness training. Provide regular training sessions for staff on cultural competency and sensitivity to equip them to understand and support diverse patient needs. You can also talk about respect for preferences. So you can go about saying you adapt care approaches to accommodate individual patient differences, and then including their cultural, religious, and personal needs. And then communication also is very, very important. So you can talk about the fact that you ensure regular communication. So you regularly communicate the expectations for the work environment and promote effective communication to eliminate all forms of stereotypes. And also regarding team collaboration, you can also say that I will foster a collaborative team environment where all staff members contribute to discussions, decision making, and promote a sense of belongingness. So you can also talk about feedback mechanisms, that is, implement anonymous feedback systems for both staff and patients to voice concerns about equality and inclusion, ensuring that all the experiences and perspectives are acknowledged and addressed. You can also mention staff training, ensure every staff member are up to date with all their competencies regarding equality, diversity, and inclusion to promote best practices and encourage open discussions about these topics in the workplace. And you can also talk about patient advocacy, that is, actively advocating for patients' rights and needs, ensuring their care plans reflect their unique backgrounds and preferences. So tailored care plans. Collaborate with patients and their families to create individualized care plans that respect their unique background, preferences, and cultural needs. So supportive environment. So create a safe space for staff to discuss inclusion-related concerns and experiences, enforcing a culture of respect and support within the team. You don't need to talk about all of these points, but at least if you manage to explain your diversity, inclusion, equality, and you pick a few of these points and explain how you promote it, you will get the topmost score for this particular question among all the candidates that will be interviewed. So the next and the last question that I got answer for is, what are your role as a band 6 nurse? So the reason why they will ask you about this question is they want to know if you really know what will be expected of you as a band 6. So if I'm asked this question, I will go about answering it this way, and you can also model this answer to suit how you would prefer to answer it. So some of the roles that will be expected of me or of you as a band 6, you can talk about patient assessment, that is, conducting thorough patient assessment, developing care plans, and evaluating patient outcomes. Because for every patient you see, you need to do patient assessment, including risk assessment, medication assessment, every form of assessment that you need to do, because it's based on this assessment that you develop a care plan for the needs of this particular patient. You can also talk about medication management, that is, administering medications, monitoring for side effects, and educating patients about their treatment. So when you talk about medicine management, you can also mention the fact that you ensure all the rights of medication are considered before you give any medication. If you mention the right of medication, I bet you can get additional point for this. And collaboration, as a band 6, you'll be working closely with multidisciplinary team, including doctors, managers, senior nurses, etc., to coordinate patient care. You can also talk about the fact that as a band 6, you will be an advocate. So you act as an advocate for the patients, ensuring their voices are heard, their needs are prioritized, and they receive comprehensive, compassionate care tailored to their individual circumstances or individual needs. You can also talk about clinical leadership. So you can mention that you'll be overseeing junior staff, supporting their development, ensuring high standards of care is maintained. You can also talk about mentorship. Regarding mentorship, you can say that I will act as a mentor for junior nurses, provide guidance, support, and constructive feedback, fostering their professional growth and helping them develop essential clinical skills. Lastly, you can talk about policy implementation. You can also mention that you ensure compliance with hospital policies and procedures, as well as contributing to quality improvement initiatives. You make sure that every member of your team works according to the trust policies. So these are so far some of the questions and the model answers for these questions in case you come across any of these in your interview. Before I go, let me just give you a few tips. So I would say that for any interview, try and prepare way ahead of time. The moment you know that you've applied for the job, even if you are not sure whether you're going to be shortlisted, try and start preparing and start getting or putting together information for possible questions and answers. And this obviously will be a useful guide for you to start going through. Also, apart from the questions and answers I've provided in this video, you can also go on the internet, search for so many other questions. Also, try and practice. I can't stress that enough. Another tip is, those who are interviewing you, they know you are already stressed even before you come in. So don't look overstressed. Try and relax. If they are smiling, smile with them. If they are laughing, laugh with them. You have to be confident in answering your questions, but don't look too serious. Just relax. It will help you calm your nerves so that all your answers will be on point, so that you don't end up fumbling. Another tip, very important tip, is when you are giving the answers, give examples. They really love it when you back your answers with examples. I hope you found this video very, very useful. If you found any value from this video, kindly consider subscribing. Share this video with as many people as you can. If you've got any upcoming Bances interview, I wish you the very best, and kindly let me know how it goes and your feedback in the comment section. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.